And then I will invite the next speaker to the stage. That's the Cryil Vancura from imec.xpand to tell us about more, because imec.xpand is investing heavily in all the types of novel technologies. So let's see what they're up to.
Thank you very much, Olga, for the kind introduction, and thanks for the organizing to invite me to talk about the opportunities and challenges of investing in deep tech startups. My name is Cryil Vancura. I'm partner at imec.xpand, and we are a deep tech fund investing across the value chain in semiconductor-enabled companies. I'll start my talk by introducing quickly imec.xpand, then talk about the opportunities and why we are excited about investing in semiconductor-enabled companies. But I'll also talk about the challenges that startups face in this industry, and I'll end with some advice for startups. So imec.xpand is a venture capital fund that invests in companies that build transformative semiconductor technologies and that are fundamentally enabled by technologies, network know-how of imec. imec, maybe let me start with that first, is a well-known, renowned research institute based in Leuven. Many of you probably have heard about this R&D institute already. It's a trusted partner to academia, to corporates, as well as to startups, and leverages about 3 billion worth of infrastructure based in Leuven. So this is a full 8-inch line, as well as a full 12-inch line, where you can do state-of-the-art research in partnership with about 5,500 researchers from across the world. Now, we are an investment fund that has an exclusive partnership with imec. We're not the corporate venture arm of imec. The money that we invest, and we currently invest out of our second fund, which is a 300 million euro fund, was raised in the open market. But we are the only venture capital fund that has this first-line access to imec innovation. Now, that allows us to invest both in spin-outs of imec as well as in external companies where imec technology, network, know-how, infrastructure, etc., can be a contributing factor to the success of the company. On the other hand, what that also allows us is to assess semiconductor-enabled companies and their technologies at the early stages, reduce the risk profile of those companies, and make investments in those companies. The second pillar to our investment thesis is our international footprint. Our international footprint is enabled by our own network across the globe to venture capitalists, corporates, and startups, as well as through our partnership with imec, where imec works pretty much with everyone along the value chain, from the fabs to the equipment makers to the chip makers, and then end device makers in different markets, from consumer devices to healthcare. And the third pillar to our investment thesis is that we believe that in order to make semiconductor-enabled companies and startups successful, you need to be able to take a technology risk, but to as well invest significant amounts at the early stages. So, as I said before, we, through our partnership with imec, we're willing to take a technology risk because we can assess the technology risk and we can also alleviate certain parts of the technology risk through this collaboration. On the other hand, we also invest at early stages. For us, for example, a seed round is easily 10 million, sometimes even more, 15 million, because we believe in order for startups to make significant progress in their early phase of technology development, you need to be able to reach those milestones through sufficient investment. So our portfolio consists both of deep tech companies as well as health tech companies. Here you see kind of an overview of the companies that we have invested in. They span different parts of or a number of industries, but they're always enabled by semiconductor technology. So these are companies in 3D printing, quantum computing, but also optical interconnects, and we also have invested in a micro-LED company. Some of you may know it, Mikledi, and all of you will hear about it about in an hour from now when the CTO, Sören Steudel, will talk about kind of what they have achieved to date. Now, we also have are investing in health tech companies. Again,